What is up? What is up? How's it going, peoples? How's everybody doing? Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to finish getting the settings the way they need to be. Hey, Mandy, how's it going? How is everybody doing tonight? How's the sound, guys? Sound okay? Everything sound alright? If the music's too loud, or if I'm too loud, or let me know. Okay, thank you, Mandy. I appreciate it. I actually thought I was going to be a few minutes late. but whatever the situation with the gymnastics didn't pan out for my daughter, she's crashed on the couch. So, and she didn't want to wake up, and it was my responsibility to wake her up, and she was like negatory. One second, guys. Hey, what's up, bro? Not much, Cricket. What's up with you, man? I am just waiting here. Excuse the silence. I'm just waiting here to see what is going on with some of my friends. How is it? It's doing good. Doing good, man. How you guys doing? Snowed in, Cricket? Sorry. There's really nothing else I can say. It's like 81 degrees here. I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but it is. We went from like thinking we were gonna have like a record-breaking winter to like we're basically have been in spring since like the first week of January. And it was supposed to be like this totally freezing cold winter this year. We did get a lot of ice though in the beginning of the winter. It just winter lasted about a month. And that was about it here. So for all of you suffering with the dreads of winter, primarily those of you on the Northeast, I apologize. I agree with you, Dave. Yeah, I think I'd rather deal with the snow than live in California. That's very true. So I don't know where Nerva is today. He basically, I haven't heard from him, so no clue where the troll part of this ordeal is at. He is AFK. Might have a good reason, might not, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep rolling. Dave, I agree with you. Probably sleeping. I mean, he is probably one of the weirdest individuals I know when it comes to a schedule. I tease him quite a bit about it for those of you who aren't constantly watching the show. Who wants to go to bed at like 7 o'clock and wake up at like 2 o'clock? Now, I understand if you have to be at work like at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. I understand that, but that's not Nerva's case. It's so he can work out or do whatever Nerva does. So, yes, I do, Dave. If you'll bear with me 1 second, I will check my Skype. I'm actually putting some batteries in my newly acquired God mod that I received from Toast finally. And I'm quite enjoying the new button feel of the God mod, because my red one has been used and abused, and even with the new button that I put in it like 3 months ago, it's still not as nice as a nice brand new one. Ah, silver. Haha. Alright. Give me a sec, Dave. I'm going to take a couple hits on this and... Where's my phone? See? See what happens when you rush to get things done? I misplaced my phone. What the heck did I do with my phone? I don't have Skype on. Oh, there it is. I don't have Skype on, so I'm gonna have to turn it on here. I'm assuming. Let me get Skype turned on, guys. Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bring Dave on as a special co-host today. Which, you know, honestly, Dave, you just might as well, like, I might as well just put you in the broadcast officially. Because you've been coming on a lot. I found it. I found it. And there's the Skype sound. Okay. I also forgot to put that I was live in tech chat. I don't want to get in trouble. Okay, there we go. That's done. Alright, folks, bear with me 1 second here. Dave, give me a sec, okay? My Skype's going to have to catch up, okay? Oops, I just dropped the battery. So, guys, today, I have quite a bit to talk about. Number one, over on Vape TV, VapeNet is talking about a subject that that I really wanted to be a part of, but I did tell Three Dog that I would touch bases on the subject here, since I had my show time, you know, and I didn't have enough time to give warning to let, what's up, Big Moose? Hey, Hoppy. Hey, Mushroom Cloud. Vape Llama. How's it going, everybody? Basically, I didn't have time to tell everybody, you know, on Nova to let them know to get my show filled or whatever. So I went ahead and discussed it with Greedog and told her I would go ahead and touch bases here. But basically what I'm talking about is we're talking about the whole Shan mods problem. For those of you who have been watching my show for any length of time, you have heard Nerva and several others, including Dave, which Dave is going to be coming on here in just 1 minute once I get Skype uploaded, that have talked about my personal situation with Shan, and so this is not hearsay or anything like that, but basically over in VapeNet, if you want to catch up with them on that, I totally understand. Basically, they're having a discussion about that, the situation with Shan and how many people are really getting the shift shaft from that particular vendor, which, and I'll get into more of it here in a little bit. Let me just get Dave here on the show. 1 sec, Dave, okay? Bear with me. Let me just get this up. Screen window. Boom. Side. I know I'm a horrible singer. I can't help it. I was not given the the singing gift by the man upstairs. That's for dang sure. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring Dave on, guys. Bear with me 1 second here. Bear with me 1 second, folks. I need to kill one of these streams here, don't I? There we go. Alright, Dave, I'm in the Hangout that you created. I don't see you. Bear with me, guys, okay? 1 sec. All right. Well, while we're waiting for Dave, we'll go ahead and get this thing rolling here. So, anyways, as I was saying, yeah, basically, there is some stuff I definitely want to talk about. I also want to touch base on the situation with Rip Tripper. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that today. Hold on one sec, guys, okay? One sec. Dave, give me a second.
No problem.
Okay. Let me get Dave on the screen here. Hey, Dave, what's up, man?
Another beautiful day.
All right, there you are. You're on the screen now. So, yeah. So basically, yeah, got a lot to talk about today. Yeah. So I guess, Dave, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just kind of coordinate, not really coordinate with VapeNet, but VapeNet, I guess, is going to take quite a bit of time today and discuss this whole Shan issue. And like I said, I have not had a chance to really put out my 2 cents. I was really kind of disappointed I had to miss the show, but you know, obligations are obligations, you know. So, how you doing?
Good. Good. It was a long day, wasn't that? It was a good day.
Long day is selling vape gear. It's always a fun day, though.
It is. 12 hours on your feet, and when you're back to acting up, it's not the greatest of all days. But still,
Yeah.
it's a vape shop. Even the worst day in a vape shop is still a great day.
Well, you know, the way I look at it is at least you're having fun doing what you like doing, right? I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's a big part of it, you know. At least you're doing something you enjoy doing.
Yeah, it's something I believe in.
So before we get started, I wanted to talk about a couple of things, and maybe Dave, you can give some input. But I know there's a lot of propositions out right now. I know that Mandy's been really on that. What is that? That SB 530 or whatever the hell it is.
I believe so. Yeah.
It's the Indiana ban on e-liquid and flavored juices and stuff. So any of you who live in that remote area of the country, well, not remote as in less people. What I mean by that is that in that particular area of the country, you might want to get on the horn there, because I know in the Midwest, and Dave, you're from not really the Midwest, but I mean at least the Northwest or North Central.
Considered the Midwest.
Okay, Midwest. You know, and again, this is just my opinion from a West Coasterner, but it seems to me like when one of those states starts to kind of like move on something, a lot of the other states kind of follow suit. I mean,
a lot of them. It falls in that regard.
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. Go ahead. Sorry.
We've had some interesting issues with the legislation, even here in Michigan. We just had the governor basically screw us over about 3 weeks to a month ago. We actually were fighting to get a bill passed for underage sales. And he shot it down because it was worded that we wouldn't be a tobacco product, but we still had the 18 regulation on us.
Okay.
But he shot it down because he wanted the taxes.
So he shut it down because he wanted the taxes.
As a cigarette.
Okay, so he basically wants the tobacco sales or the tobacco taxes.
All he cares about is the money for tobacco taxes. He didn't care that it was trying to keep it out of hands of underage people. He didn't care about the other wording in it. All he wanted to do was have it rewritten so it would classify as tobacco so he could taxes.
Okay, so here's my opinion. And I did a lot of reading yesterday, and I've done a lot of reading over the last 10 days, I'd say probably. But I mean, I spent at least a good 3 or 4 hours because I was, as you know, Dave, I was stuck in bed down on my back. So I was doing a lot of reading on this, and I am in no way, shape, form an expert. As a matter of fact, I've actually been looking and kind of outreaching to brick and mortars that I have relationships with, other juice makers I have relationships with, and I still have a lot of people I still have to talk to about this. But my whole thing is, it seems to me, at least as far as the federal FDA regulations go, nobody really seems to have a straight answer of exactly what it's going to do. it seems like everybody has different opinions. You know, I know everybody says that it's going to cost, $300,000 per product and all this, and then other people say, well, no, that it's going to be like $100,000. It just seems to me like everybody's really up in arms and really up in air about this whole thing. And I don't know, maybe as a person who works at a brick and mortar, and you're like hearing it and talking it every day, maybe you can give some definition. And I don't mean to put you on the spot. So if you,
No, it's fine.
If you don't have any like straight information, that's cool. I mean, because I am kind of putting you on the spot.
The thing is, right now, no one has the true straight information. Everyone's working off the documentation that the FDA has put out.
Yes.
And what they're trying to get it implemented, but it's so poorly worded, and it's so misunderstood at this point. Until we find out exactly what's going on, we should be fighting it, trying to keep it in line, but we just need to keep an eye on it at this point, in my personal opinion. But, what's that worth?
And Dave, that's my thing is. My thing is, to me, it seems like, and guys, I'm so sorry. I know this isn't our usual layout as far as our show goes. Getting right to content, but there's just so much to talk about, and I just felt like it had to be discussed because, like every show I watch, everybody has like their own opinion, and it's like we're not getting concise, direct information out of the industry. I mean, even if you go like on CASA's site and then you go over to AMSA, or if you go to like, the Vaping Militia over to whoever the other company is or the other advocates, even their information is different. I mean, they have the same legislation documentation, but their version of what it means is different. And
right, but the thing is we still have to make sure they understand their voice. That's the most important thing. There's a link that the militia put up that actually goes through CASA to help contact your local senators to express your thoughts on this. I've been posting it up around the internet. I think it's very good to let them know what's going on.
Yes.
So at least that way when it comes up to them, they'll know the amount of people behind it.
Yes. Well, and Big Moose, you're absolutely right. I really think a lot of that is true. I really do. I think a lot of it is people just don't know. Now, my question is, Dave, is I've been reading or trying to read and understand like the lawsuits out there against the FDA regs, and what I don't understand is why there hasn't been an injunction put in place yet.
I don't know. The thing is I know it sounds a little cocky when I say this, but it's not what I'm trying to get across as. The way our particular company is set up, they have a very strong connection with how the government's putting through, what legal is going through, with the senator. We have people on payroll just to keep an eye on that, and even at this point, there's still no concrete answers.
So basically,
that's the problem.
So basically, what we're looking at is we're looking at another. And excuse me, guys, for those of you who are advocates and supporters of Obamacare. I'm not trying to diss it, but it's kind of like, it's one of those long, drawn-out, fat-ass books of information that really nobody knows exactly what it means, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, that's kind of what I've gotten out of it. That seems like the last 10 or 15 days. It's just like nobody really knows exactly what it means. And until the government implements it, we're all kind of just waiting to find out what is going to happen. I mean, Cricket, absolutely, man, absolutely. I definitely think it definitely comes down to education.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think a lot of it is, and I'll be honest, I'm responsible for this as well. I'm one of those people that believes that I really don't have to explain why I do what I do. And I don't know if that's the reason we failed at education, but I kind of feel like if I want to vape, I can vape. I mean, it's not illegal. it was pretty much, it's unregulated still to this day. And as long as I'm not like out chucking clouds and blowing in people's faces, why does it matter what I'm doing?
The thing is, the truth is, when you look back to it, it's the same way that I referenced earlier and what Big Moose is saying.
Yeah.
It comes down to is they don't care about the health risks truly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
They see it as cash cow. They know it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they want money.
And growing every day. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And the thing is, they used to get especially the FDA, used to make all their money from which group?
Tobacco.
And pharmaceuticals to fight tobacco.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What are people doing now to get away from tobacco?
Well, they're living longer.
No, but what they're doing is stop smoking.
Well, it stops them making tax money, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
They're switching to vaping. They're not making, FDA is not making money off drugs because people are not buying all those horrible, nasty drugs that are fucking people up to quit smoking. They're going to vaping.
Mm-hmm.
So they see that that's going to be a loss of revenue for them.
So you're talking about the patches, the gum.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They're making money off tobacco. They're making money off the patches, the gum, all that kind of stuff. The only thing they're not making money off of is us. And they see us as a threat to their income level. Yes.
Well, and you're right, sister. A lot of people did go to rolling their own, and I totally understand that. But I also think that there's a futuristic type of situation happening here as well, Dave, that ties into what you're saying. I think that they're also looking at their future foundations. Exactly. You know, and if 10,000 vapors or smokers quit smoking every month, which I think is some of the estimates that's been going, that's been thrown around, across the world. I mean, 10,000 per month. I mean, you think about the medications that these people would have had to buy 30 or 40 years from now, from blood pressure pills, what the heck, all those, heart palpation medicines, all the antibiotics, all these different things that, I mean, you're talking billions and billions, and I mean, maybe even $1 trillion.
Oh, yeah. And they see that future there. And now, here's the thing is, a lot of people may not like my opinion on this.
Hey, Patton.
Always who I am, and I have to say what I believe.
Yeah.
We don't, to be completely honest, everything we can say about vaping, all the stuff that we're getting so far across the first studies, they're showing positive. Yes. Anecdotally, from all my time on here, all my time in the forums, all my time spending my entire life studying.
Well, the right studies, right? I mean, you're talking about the true studies.
The true studies.
Yes, not the studies the media's talking about, like the Berkeley
Those are horrible. They're
Sorry,
not even.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to throw that out there. So.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. But in the long run, we truly don't know if this is safer. Honestly, it needs to be studied.
Yeah, very much.
But the way that the way the FDA is trying to do it is basically trying to make money by claiming it needs to be studied. This is studies that need to be done just like all the studies in the past. But it does not give them an excuse to take advantage of us. And that's the problem.
That's a really, really good point, Dave, actually. I actually never thought about using that word. Hold on. Sorry, my 5-year-old or 6-year-old singing. I never really thought of it that way, that the take advantage, like to use that frame, that frame word, the framework of that they're basically taking advantage of the situation.
Yes, they are. And they're using it to their advantage so they can start running their own cash cow system out of us. And the thing is, they know if you pay attention to this community, we're in a situation on things like Vape TV and forums and that kind of stuff where we do have a community.
Yes.
If you look at vaping across just this one country, it is so fragmented. There is no strong center core.
Yes.
That they know that we're so fragmented, it's impossible to fight. I mean, you look at some of this stuff when we have these massive legislations coming down trying to get after us. How many people even take the time to call their senator, let alone show up to anything to show off that they care? Because there's no good communication, and then the attitude of a lot of people in this industry, and I'm trying not to be too harsh about it. There's so many people in this industry, the parts that I'm glad they're there to help people get off smoking, but a lot of them are there because, ooh, money. Hell yeah! I mean, I could be part of a $10 billion industry and not give a shit what I do and just rake in a fucking ton of cash. Fuck it. I'm gonna get in all the money I can for now.
Mm-hmm.
Bullshit!
Yeah.
That's not how you do things the right way.
Yep.
But unfortunately, that's where a lot of people in this industry are.
Sorry about that, Dave. I just was trying to turn the music down a little bit. You know, that's... it's actually kind of funny because I knew there's a reason I like you. Because, like, that's pretty much... I'm, like, dead on with that thought, that thinking. Hey, Grumpy. Hey, Helen Wills. Hey, Mandy. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. There has been a large influx of non-related money into our industry, just like any other industry. And unfortunately, these individuals create those fragments without even really realizing it. Because let's say some guy has $20,000, opens a brick and mortar in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he's not community driven. Well, I mean, look at how the media reports e-cigs, okay? I mean, if you're somebody who doesn't know about the legislation, who's really not worried about the community, you're really just worried about money, you're looking at this and going, this thing's a dying breed. This thing's on its way out. I might as well make as much money as I can now.
Yep, and I've heard that. I've heard those stories. There's been people who I honestly trust who have talked to these people, and they'll go up to people and say, yeah, well, I get as much money as I can now. Instead of, you know what, I believe in this, I am going to fight, I am going to work, and I am going to do what's right to make this community, because they don't care that they're trying to help people. They care that the industry, they care that it's money. That's the thing, is when you lose that passion, or you don't have that passion behind your business, you're part of the problem, not part of what's going to help people in the long run.
Well, and that's very true. And to change the subject just a little bit, I mean, how much of this do you think... Sister Creepy sitting there eating grapes. How much of this do you think is like actually tied to the situation that we've gotten kind of looped into this whole pipe tobacco situation? Because and I know they're trying to group us together as one entity.
Yes.
What I don't understand is, like, first of all, how did that happen? Second of all, why did we let that happen? Third of all, why are we still allowing that to happen? I mean, I just don't understand. And I guess that's just the FDA's way of making it easier on themselves, just throwing us all in one big group and then just saying, hey, we're going to tax them all. You know, I don't know. What are your opinions on that?
That's pretty much what they're doing. They're trying to say, oh, you don't want to be classified as a cigarette? Oh, we'll just put you as an alternative tobacco product. It's going to sound so much better. And people say, you accept it, they take it. And then they're just prepping to get us harder later.
Well, all I can say regarding this issue, and I know we're probably already boring everybody, but because I mean this has been talked about 10 million times.
Oh, I know.
But my thing is here's why this is concerning to me. When I have been vaping for almost 4 years or right at 4 years, I can't remember which one. Pretty sure it's like a little bit over 4 years. But anyways, I've been vaping for a while, and the thing is when I have family members come up to me and start talking to me about maybe it'd be a good idea for me to go outside when I vape, I realize that we're losing the war.
Yes. My favorite is I have my sister-in-law. She's a doctor. My brother is just generally anti anything that looks like smoke. So
yeah, well,
So when I was staying there, I was told I'm not allowed to vape around the children. Not the fact that it's in the same room, but where they even know that it exists. Because they didn't want to have to explain the difference, and it's just easier to associate anything coming out of their mouth. It's people just easy to lump us into that. They take, and then
Hey, bro.
Every
Hey,
time on
Todd.
Facebook, something would pop up, like one of these studies, and they just throw it at me and mention me and do all this stuff on Facebook without taking any time to figure out what it is. They just listen to the hype, they see the bullshit that's being thrown through, and it's sad that people just listen to that. Because the media knows it sells. Oh, scary, news at 8, this is gonna hurt you, and
Not right now. Go
you
away,
have
please.
this dangerous thing. I don't know.
Sorry, it's my son. I was just trying to read Grumpy Ed's comment. Yeah, Grumpy, yeah. I agree. Dave, how do you turn this enter and left thing
And
off?
you're absolutely right, bro. What was
Do you know how to turn this stupid enter and left thing off, the notifications?
that? You have to be the caster.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry, guys.
But Broken's right. He has the absolute right not to have it around his children or even know what they are. He's their parents. I'm not begrudging that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's the mentality that they just assume that it's the exact same thing.
Well, and I think a lot of that goes back to the whole education factor, because another way I kind of look at it is it's like when I go to church and I'm outside, I'll be vaping outside. Automatically, that signal of smoke or vapor or
Did we drop?
is. Oh, I guess we did. Hold on. It says we froze. I'm not dropping any frames.
It's off air.
Hold on.
Oh, it says we're back now.
It says we're back now. Okay.
Let's refresh. There it is.
Are we back?
It is for me. And hopefully no one else lost it too badly.
Yeah, I froze
It
too.
might
And
just be a glitch on Vapors TV.
I have to refresh because I paused and froze and it didn't. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't need to see it. I can watch it on XSplit. But
Right. I usually keep it up with others to make sure we're still streaming.
Yeah. but yeah, I don't know. I think that the whole. My Tanam arm. I have a cross, a Celtic cross, here, and then I have my my American flag eagle, and then I have like the banner going across that says "In God We Trust." I need to put lotion on so bad. I'm so dry.
Yeah.
But
But yeah,
thanks, sister. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say is my favorite was the very last study that everyone was throwing around trying to attack us with was the formaldehyde one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one was my favorite.
Thank you, sister.
Trying to explain to people that no human being on Earth would ever actually do that physical activity, to the point where it would literally make you hack so hard that you would pass out and it would be the most unpleasant experience you've ever had in your life, other than maybe passing a kidney stone. And trying to explain to them that that's how you get bad results.
Push pause and play. Let me just put that in chat real quick for Grumpy.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was faking it ain't gonna do much.
I know, right? I always say it. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know. But like I was saying, like it's so funny how that just the vapor or the smoke or whatever, it seems to have a stigma with it because of how bad people reflect smoking is,
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Broken. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, everyone takes a CE4 and burns it for 2 minutes straight.
Oh,
That
yeah.
thing wicks so well that there's no such thing as a dry hit on one of those.
Dude.
I've never heard of a dry hit on one of those in 3 seconds, alone 2 minutes.
Dude, I've never had... Dude, C4, man, I used to, just run those things. I would have it empty with no juice, and I would just start vaping it. That's the way to
just
do it.
vapes great.
Dude, it's a phenomenal vape that way.
Oh, heck yeah.
That's the only way to vape it.
Oh, yeah. Don't even waste your time buying that juice stuff.
Yeah.
Just buy the tank and burn it straight. That's where you get the best flavor.
I'm changing some cotton while I'm sitting here trying to keep my attention on this issue, but it's funny because like it's so funny how like people like just stigma, everything, you know. But I mean,
yeah, but that's the thing. It's easy mentality for people to get into. It's easy to associate one thing with the other. It's the same reason why certain things a lot of people still do now, but if you think of our past, look at racism. It's easy to classify and put stigmatism towards something when it's so easily identified with each other. And it's the wrong thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easy for human nature. That's why it catches on so easily.
Yep.
And then when you look at all the news articles, fear sells.
Well, and the thing is, too, Dave, and this is the thing that just drove me crazy over the last year and a half since all this really got serious, was I don't understand. The media seems to be so pro the whole, legalize it thing, okay? And they're so, like, pro-choice on so many issues. I don't understand what we did wrong that put us on bad terms with them. Because
fear sells.
It's just amazing because like you just see there's like they literally have a vendetta against us. Like it's almost like personal for them. And I don't know if it's just because one of them started doing it and the rest of them just kind of took off on it, or what the situation is.
And yeah, broken. You're right. It's one of those things. Is there are always the bigger. In any community of any group of people, there's always going to be good people and bad people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
People who respect what you're doing and people who don't. As a community grows and reaches more people, you're going to get a higher percentage of a slice of what the world is. And unfortunately, as much as 99 to 100% of everyone I've ever met on this network and in communities and in my stores and all this stuff, I've been some of the most awesome people on Earth. The human population has a lot of douchebags.
It's true.
And as we get more popular, we're going to get more and more vaping douchebags.
Well, and the thing with me, too, is it's like, it's kind of like the whole thing when you go like to a vape meet and the hotel's like, hey, can you just not vape in this one general area where pretty much 99% of our people come in and out of? We'd really appreciate it. And then you have that 20% of vapors that are just like, and then basically they ruin.
What it comes down to is they have an affliction of the dirtiest word I've ever been able to apply to a human being. There's a certain affliction that they carry that is the most offensive, nasty thing I can say about any human being. Entitled. They feel they're fucking entitled to do whatever they want, wherever they want. Every human being should respect other people, and you're not entitled to do shit in this world. If a company or a building asks you politely not to do something, don't do it. It's their right. If there's a business that doesn't want you to do something in there, and you want to go to that business, don't do it.
Yep.
But let's say in my area, we have a lot of different bars in our area. A lot. There are some bars that are extremely vaping friendly. And there are some that won't even let you walk near the building with a vaping equipment. Guess where all of our vape meets are? Guess where all of our work hangouts are? Guess who gets a ton of business that we give their name out to everyone who wants a place to go and hang out.
And have a friendly place to vape, yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, I still preach the concept if they ask, it's their right. That's the thing.
Well, I agree because, if you got 20 or even if you have 5 or 10 people in there, especially the way most people vape nowadays, at least within the community, that can be really disturbing. I mean, hell, just me in my living room when I'm watching TV, my wife will go like, "Hey, hon, I don't care if you vape. I don't mind if you vape, but do you have to like blow the biggest freaking cloud like right in front of the TV? You know, because the vapor will just kind of linger. You know, and I understand that. You know, I understand. I don't like listening to her, and sometimes I get irritated, but I still try to be.
But you have to understand where she's coming from, and you get it. It's like I can vape my apartment out. In our stores, we have a lot of mix of people. 80 to 90% of our customers are the average vapers. Not, standard egos, nice tank, you vape, you're trying to stay off cigarettes. They're great people.
Mm-hmm.
We still have that 5 to 10% cloud chasers because they're always going to be part of the community.
Hey, intervention.
Which I'm one of them. There's times when we'll start fogging up a room. Some of the people that don't turn on the fans. I like the fog. It's like, we have to be respectful to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on your fans, break up the vapor a little bit, and make it more enjoyable for everyone. That's the thing. Clouding can be unenjoyable for people. It's hard to see. It's bad. There's a point when in one of the times when I had about 5 or 6 major clouders in one of our stores, you couldn't actually see across the building.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that in several vape shops.
It's cool. I enjoy it.
Yep.
It's fine, but you have to accept that there's other people who don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just learning to be respectful to everyone.
It's so funny how vaping has really opened my eyes in a lot of ways to how pathetic some people really are, and I don't mean. And guys, just so you know, you know me. I'm not a stuck-up princess, okay? Absolutely. I don't think I'm anything specialer than anybody else. But it is just amazing how some people in the world just think they are God's gift to people.
Which falls under
douchebag. Douchebaggiest.
Oh, entitled. Self-entitled douchebags. But like I said, entitlement is the dirtiest word I can place on any human being.
Mandy, you are absolutely right. It is absolutely common sense. And and I've told you guys a story about how when I was in the hospital during my surgery, I was in the restroom and I blew clouds all over the place. I was trying to help my body go through the natural process of eliminating substance. And I set off the fire alarm in a hospital, and I mean, they went crazy. And I wasn't blowing like massive clouds. I think I was using like a Plumevel with just a standard drip tip, So I mean, I wasn't purposely trying to, go all crazy. Hey, Redneck. But it set the alarm off, and I got in deep shit. I mean, I didn't get in trouble with the police or anything, but let's just say this: they told me if it goes off again, I would no longer be welcome in the hospital. So, I apologized. I was a little offended at first, but after I let my butthurtness come down, I asked the administrator of the hospital to come back. I apologized, and everything was fine. And then from then on forward, I went outside and vaped. My wife would wheelchair me down, and it was fine. It was perfect.
Right. And you have to see it from their perspective, because in any commercial situation, fire alarms are not good. And even worse in a situation when they have to have the fear of getting out a bunch of very sick, hard-to-move people to a safe location.
Well, yeah. And
fire alarms are a very bad thing.
Well, the problem was I was having some issues, and we all know the benefits of nicotine in certain realms of our life, and I was trying to use the nicotine to help me with this process, so I didn't really care.
Right. So you gotta be a little bit from both directions.
Grumpy, yeah. I'm pretty sure that means you can do that. If you've not been to a farmer's market lately, since when do older women, and when I mean older, I mean grandmas, when I don't mean young grandmas, I mean grandmas, Since when do grandmas like walk around with no bra? I mean,
Oh God.
I think that the penis hanging out your pants is it's automatically allowed.
Now I think that legally the best you can do without getting in too much trouble is you're allowed to wear one of those really scary little tight speedos anywhere you want.
All I'm gonna say is that when I was in Miami, I was in a clothing optional hotel and I didn't even realize it. And when I walked outside and I saw like people varying from 18 to 80 walking around with no clothes on, I realized I was in the wrong hotel. So pretty much the last
Oh,
2 days
there's
of my
nothing wrong with nudity.
the last 2 days. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Dude, trust me. I've been talking to my wife. I'm ready to go nudist. I'm completely ready. I was telling my wife, like, you know, it was quite fun walking around with a G-string Speedo for like 3 days. Oh, God. This is absolutely declining fast, so I'm going to get back on topic.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so, guys, I'm sorry that we ranted on so long about the whole vaping thing. Since we have Dave here, and Dave works in a pretty important vape shop where he lives, that I thought it'd be nice to kind of get his opinion. Because I think for vape shops, I mean, for juice makers, for mod makers, I see this as being scary. But where I see a very big fear would be with like the brick and mortars. Because, I mean, you've invested tens of thousands of dollars into this business. I mean, you are living vaping. You
Yes.
know, I mean, you are working, not to mention your employees. I mean, vape shops, I mean, hell, just in California alone, I think they said there was like something like 105,000 people employed by vaping. That's just one state. I mean, that's pretty serious stuff. I mean, and I just, to me, it's concerning. And I'm not trying to take away from the juice makers or the mod makers, because I have done both and I do both. But I'm just saying that I can understand their fear, but I'm more concerned, as a outlooking person, I could not imagine being a brick and mortar owner right now. I mean, when you've locked all of your family's resources, your livelihood, your life, if you have kids in private school, your house payment, I mean, everything is tied into this industry.
Oh yeah. Especially the smaller vape shops. There's a lot of fear. I can understand them having a lot of fear at this point.
Vapinator, absolutely. I'm gonna throw walnuts at him. No, Vapinator, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one of those little yellow police cross line things in my yard, that are about a foot tall, that teenagers love jumping over, and then just shoot them with a Red Ryder BB gun.
Gee, the cops won't stop by at all.
No, and then when the cops come, you just go, oh, I can't walk. And then they just write you a ticket, and then you just say you couldn't go to court because, you couldn't walk, and then pay off the $200 ticket and do it again starting the next day. I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to throw some 80-year-old dude in jail for shooting people with a Red Ryder BB gun?
This is California we're talking about. Yes.
Oh, God.
Which event is going on in Fort Wayne?
I don't know. I don't know. Is there an event going on right now?
Right. Big Moose is saying if we're all coming to Fort Wayne.
I'm sorry, Big Moose. I did not know, and I hate to say that, but I did not know about a meet in Fort Wayne. But I will be honest, in complete honesty and openness, I have been kind of in and out of the scene. Honestly, I actually just realized the day before yesterday when I started typing in chat, everyone was like, dude, hey, what's up? Where have you been? On Skype, because I was like, it's been like months. And shoot, dude, can't even tell you how long it's been since I've been on Facebook. I have just been...
Yeah, I'm not... That does suck that you haven't been around much. But Moose, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make that one. I have to double check. The person that's responsible for setting up most of our vape meets process and getting it going is very, very, very busy now. He's in the process of getting our 7th store open, and then immediately after that, I think we start prepping for the 8th. But I'll check with him and see if we're actually going to be putting in, anything down there. Personally, I might be able to make it. It just depends on my schedule.
Hey, and Big Moose, you were talking the other day about a mod, and I don't know if you've come to a conclusion, and I don't know if Big Moose was the one that asked in Skype when Chuck was talking to him, but Chuck did put in that he used my name as a reference about the Sigelei 150, and just to clear that up, I think Chuck misunderstood what I said about the Sigelei 150. It is actually a fantastic device, and is actually the one I'm changing my batteries on right now. Just to throw that out there so everybody knows, because I really didn't want anybody to think badly on this device, because it's a fantastic device for $99. Hey, Cricket.
The Sigelei 150?
Yes. So I just wanted to throw it out there because so I was just going to change the batteries on it, and I looked at it and I was like, I got to make that mention, because I definitely I was talking to him. I believe it is Vapinator. And don't get me wrong, I actually love both of them very much. So I'm actually getting ready to switch to my 100 right now. And I would say the only reason I like the 150 better is because the 150 has the quote unquote beveled edges, like the IPv3 I think is the one that has that.
Yeah. In all honesty, I mean, any of them will be a fine device. I have the utmost respect of anything using the Yeehai chip.
Yeah.
Anything from the IPVs, the 50s, 100s, and 150s of those, and the Sigeleis. And it's basically choosing which form factor, body, and comfort level for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're looking for something like a custom mod, I mean, that's something you and I could work out as well. But if you were going to ask me what device to buy, unless it was a custom device you wanted, I would definitely put the Sigelei 150 along the rankings on that.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, as much as I hate saying it because I have so much disdain of certain products they make, if you're looking on a budget, I'm honestly relatively impressed by the iStick 50. If you're not looking to go over 50 watts.
That's funny because I actually have been looking at that device, which is weird because I like vaping higher than 50 watts. It's just been, I don't know, I've just been kind of like looking at it kind of like, because it looks like a really nice device.
Oh yeah, we've gotten 2 shipments into the store and we've already sold out everything in the stores, everything online. And honestly, for what it is, you can't really beat the price.
My question, Dave, is have you used one yet, Dave?
Oh yeah. I test everything that comes in the building.
Does it vape like 50 watts, or does it vape more?
It's a true 50.
So it vapes like a true 50.
It's a true 50. Most of the people in my work are very obsessively in love with it. I'm not a huge fan of it just because it's not quite the kind of device I want, but it's very, very respectable the way they design it. And for under a $50 device, spectacular battery life, a true 50-watt device. Honestly, I would go. I like the SX much better. I like the power, how nice it feels. But for under 50, or right at 50 or just under, for a 50-watt device, it's very nice.
Hey,
and then Phil just put it through its absolute ringer, and it's working. It works. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations, Puffinstein. That's awesome, man. It's really nice to hear that people are still taking the steps. I just, my biggest fear is just, seeing people how they react to like a $25 or $30 bottle of juice, like a 30 mil. Right now, I'm afraid that that's going to start becoming more common.
Oh yeah.
Once
it will, with the regulations and other problems and taxes and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know why now my Sigelli's not one to turn on.
Because it's Sigelli.
No, I mean it's the batteries for
I'm
some
joking.
reason. No, I know you are. I don't know why the batteries like to be pulled out a little bit. It's weird.
Huh. What's funny is when our company never decided to carry either of those style products, the IPVs or the Sigellis, for some reason. And honestly, when people would come in and talk to me, it's basically either way, you're going to get a great chip.
Mm-hmm.
Pick the form factor you like, and truthfully, IPV has had a slightly better reputation, but the truth is they're both made by the same company.
Yeah, well, my problem with the IPV is just the damn screws.
Yeah,
that's
annoying.
That irritates the heck out of me. It just drives me nuts. And that's the main reason why my IPV just sits here and looks pretty most of the time.
Well, what's ironic is since all of them are done in series, I don't really get why they don't put a built-in USB charger. I don't agree using it, but it's surprising they don't do it.
Well, how big is the, because I mean, I don't have a God mod like you do that charges via USB.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have the Super 260 that has a balance charger in it. I mean, how big does a balance charger that would go on a device like this really have to be?
Not very big.
See, and that's kind of what I thought.
Look at the balancing board that Yeehai put out for when you buy their, the SX Mini, the one that can do, series.
Uh-huh.
That's not that much bigger than a standard USB board.
Really?
Broken, only the 180S and the 260 have USB charging in it. But either way, you really shouldn't use it.
I have used it one time, Broken,
Right, it's just good in a pinch.
Just to see if it would charge. Yeah. But I mean, that was it.
Right. I mean, the only reason I suggest our customers not use it is because I'm OCD. I have a lot of sickness when it comes to making sure your batteries are kept up in the best condition.
Mm-hmm.
And any old school concept, especially the people who remember the old days when the BAMOs required 2 batteries and all this stacking concept, and if you know anything about electronics, whatever battery's at the top gets more strain.
What he's talking about, sister, well, Dave, you can answer the question for her since you're talking.
Yeah. Anytime you have a device that runs batteries in series, they're trying to push the voltage up. If you think about it, they're all stacked. So whichever one has the positive at the top is more strained because it's more power is being forced out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a multi-battery in series, if you want your batteries to last longest, work the best, let's say it's a 2-battery design. You take them out, you charge them, you put them back in like that.
Dave, give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back.
No problem. But if you actually don't care about making your batteries last their absolute longest, which again, I have a sickness and I have to do it, doesn't matter. Yep.
Forgot to mute. Sorry about that.
All my batteries are back there in my toolbox I take to work. I didn't have a chance to unpack them yet.
Yeah, I'm a believer that since those batteries, the way they drain, I do believe that. I think that you're just going to kill one battery over the other, because even when it charges, it's going to charge the same way it drains by putting more power into one versus the other. So
in the long run, you're going to do damage to the batteries.
Yep.
And part of it falls down to is my OCD, and part of it falls down to me being a cheap bastard. And I don't want to have to replace my batteries until I need to replace my batteries.
Yeah.
Put it this way, I still have my original Panasonic battery I ever bought still works. I am that sick and obsessed.
Well.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
yes,
speaking of devices, I did say I was going to mention the Shan situation, and so. Speaking of that, like I said earlier, for those of you who weren't here, over on VapeNet, they're having a show. And they're basically 3 dogs on there, and I don't know who else, but basically a bunch of people are over there, and they're talking about the situation with the Shan mods ordeal. And for those of you who don't know what happened...
Are you kidding me? You still haven't got your mod?
No. And
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, and I'm of the mindset.
We haven't had a chance to talk much, but dear.
No, I'm of the mindset that it's never coming. I've given up. But basically, for those of you who don't know the situation, Shan was actually a very, I don't know, in my opinion, she had a really good rep for a long time.
Oh yeah, she made some beautiful mods. And I give her credit for that.
And she's built mods for years. And about 9 months ago or so, it just seemed like the girl just like stopped, even though she had like a list of mods like that still needed to be done. Because basically what Shan did was she sent out a Google Drive to every customer with a graph on it that showed where you were on the order process and what process was happening to your device. Funny thing about mine, isn't it ironic that I'm actually like on top of the list of people that was next, and I never received my device?
Did anyone below you receive theirs?
I know that there was one company that purchased like 20 mods, and like she always swore that she would do them in order. Okay, but like about 2 or 3 weeks after they started ordering, they ordered all those mods, those all disappeared. But yet everybody else has stayed on the list. So that's my first beef. Second beef, I've been waiting 10 months. At least 10 months for this device. Okay? Third thing is after I waited 6 months when the DNA 30 was rendered in like useless for me, I then asked if I could switch it over because she started doing the SX350s. And ever since then, I still have not received a single response.
I mean, even if the mod is finished and cut out, at least it's not like you can't get a DNA 40. Even if
Dave.
She still can't get her DNA 30s, which is what she was claiming before, you can get a DNA 40.
Sorry, David. The music just stopped. I had to fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, not good at all. And so basically, so you guys know what the story is, my personal situation aside, 3 Dog, okay, she bought a mod and she was like 2 people above me. Okay? She basically got her mod like 2 people ahead of me on the list. And I didn't even realize it was her until she told me her order number. She got her mod. Her mod worked for like half a day. Okay, and then I guess she finally got a hold of Shan, and Shan told her to send it back, which she did, and now Shan has basically dropped off the face of the earth. Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, life in general, her site's down, like the whole... Now, whether her site's live right now or not, I don't know, but when I checked it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was down. So, I mean, maybe it changed, but, I mean... completely dropped off the map, and I'm telling you right now, the Google Drive, I just checked it, there was at least 30 people who were waiting for mods, and that's it. So I'm not going to talk bad about the lady personally. I'm not going to say anything negative. All I'm going to say is, if I were you, I would make sure I would be very, very careful with a lot of these custom individuals who are doing custom devices that aren't at least known within the community. Just my opinion.
That's the sad thing. Wasn't she actually known in the community?
She was very well known in the community. And when her mods were, I think they ranged between 145 and like 220. And I think I paid like 170 for mine. And I think, honestly, Dave, the main reason I'm disappointed about it is not even about the money. I'm more disappointed because she was doing a custom Game of Thrones logos and stuff on it for me. And that's what pisses me off more than anything. Sister, for me, that's a lot of money. Considering I make my own mods, and for a much newer, upgraded version of what she sold, I was selling them about the same price. And it was really frustrating. But I'm just throwing it out there to you guys. I would just be careful, because so many of these dealers, these mod makers are popping up. And especially with the era the way it is with the FDA and everything coming down the pike, just be careful. Because, what am I going to do? Take her to small claims court? No.
How did you pay her?
Oh, I got my money. I got my money back on PayPal, but
okay. So at least you have your money back.
Yeah. Well, I only got 75% of it back because of the timeline. But
they only give you percentages. It goes back.
Yeah, if it goes back past 6 months.
But 75.
So I think I got like 80. I got like $89 back. So. Like I said, guys, and I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. I'm just saying that this was a person who was very well known. Now, some people have had bad past with her. Like, I know CB's one. CB had a really bad history with her. But overall, she had a pretty good reputation. Hey, Puffinstein. Hey, Outlaw.
But see, that's what I don't get about the whole situation. Let's say what she initially told you is true. Let's say she couldn't get DNA 30 chips. That
was her excuse for a long time. But then she fixed that by going and getting chips from China. So number one, I bought a authentic DNA 30, but I was gonna get a DNA clone. And if she was Lascivious' sidekick, that's news to me. Because I didn't know that she was really one of those people in the community that wasn't really involved with the community. She had just built a reputation over time, because years ago she used to be somewhat involved in the community. But, as most of us do, we have a tendency to kind of drop off and then come back, drop off, come back. Because let's be honest. I'll be honest. I do a show. Yeah, I'll be honest. Well, not even just that, Dave. I do a show, and I know there's some days when I wake up and I'm just like, ugh. It happens to everybody. That's life, And so there's nothing wrong with that. And just like that, we know that there's some people who are really involved with the community, and there's other people who you won't ever see in a hangout. It's just the way it is. But she had built a really good rapport for herself, and she's really screwed a lot of people. I think, Dave, when I realized what was wrong was when I saw one of the Google Drives, the Google Drive, and she had updated, and it said, "Need a break," and she basically took this week off. And that's when I realized, I was like, "Oh man, this is bad."
Not good.
Yeah. So
honestly, across the board, if she gave a shit at all, she should have. If worse comes to worse, it's not hard to get a DNA chip. If she just would have cut her losses, any boxes she had finished, offer to ship the box at a small dollar amount just to make back some of her costs, and just called it quits. Did the right thing. But she missed that opportunity so poorly.
Sister, I think maybe you're thinking of a different Shan, but I could be wrong. And I'm not using her last name for a reason, because hell, I don't know what's going to
It's
happen.
not the right thing to do.
She could come back and be like, I that's the word I'm looking for. I affected her name, or no, it's not Ballistica or
No.
Yeah, it's not her. No.
Yeah, she was around the community a lot earlier.
No, I'm talking. She was like the
Silvandria.
charcoal vapor. Like she had videos of like how to make devices better by using the fish netting and all that shit way back in the day.
Yeah, old.
Yeah, I'm talking old school. So, anyways, but just throwing it out there to you guys. I'm not going to drag it on, but just be careful. Do your research. Like if you know somebody deep within the community, like maybe like Vapor Joe, or I don't know, like Nerva or AJ or Tony or any of these individuals that have been in the community for quite some time. And if you just, they're really good about answering Skype, even if it does take a day. Shoot them a message and say, hey, have you ever heard of this individual? I'm thinking about buying a mod from them. Or on Facebook. A lot of these modders, they do it on Facebook. Go to the Facebook thread and just be like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a mod from this person. Has anybody heard of him? Is he good? Is he reliable? Perva, I have no idea. Creep sister, I have no idea where he's at.
Still leaning towards sleeping.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards sleeping as well. I think the egg whites aren't. Dave, I'm sorry. Why aren't you coming back up on the screen?
Because you never respected.
No, you're literally on my screen right now.
So it's capturing your music player, I think.
I know. Why is it doing that? Hold on a second.
I don't know. You're the one broadcasting. I don't make those mistakes. I know how to broadcast.
Oh, shut up, Dave. I have you on the screen. I have you on the screen right now. It should show you right now. Why is it not showing you? Here. See, it just brought you back up again.
Oh, shit anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Long day.
Hold on, let me just close.
It's better to be the scary voice in the background.
There. I just closed it because literally it was skipping anyway, so let me just turn on iHeart and like literally it's like still YouTube. What is going on?
I think you broke your computer.
I think I broke something. Hold on, guys. Oh my gosh. See, they can see you in the bottom. What the heck is going on?
Ooh, way down there.
How did
One
I
of these days we'll sit down and I'll teach you how to use XSplit.
No, the problem is how did I move you to screen 2 when I don't even have a region set up for screen 2?
No idea.
Look, what is going on?
Prove you're a pervert.
Oh
You're
god,
the
there you
pervert.
are. Like, I don't know how I moved you to screen 2, but I did. Oh, dude, that's not pervert. That's Kate Upton, dude. She had clothes on. Hold on, guys. Let me turn on some tunes. I do apologize for this, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyways, that's enough about the whole Shan thing. I just would say stay clear for all of you folks out there, because it's bad stuff, and I know a lot of people aren't as nice as I am, and so just throwing that out there.
Way too much time. Honestly, yeah, I would have probably sought retribution from PayPal or confronted her a lot stronger even before I left to move back to Michigan. At that point, you were so far in.
I think the problem was, Dave,
pathetic.
I think the problem was I got to where I didn't even want the mod because it was a DNA 30, and then it was like I just want my money back, or I just give me the box. I can fix the box for myself. Hey, got a race. I can fix the box myself, And Grumpy, I'm sorry everybody's sick there. And yes, Mandy, I was breaking stuff. Of course I was. And Puff and Son, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question. I'm in California. And I guess God Erased got tired of... he just come in and he left. So, here's the last thing I'm going to talk about, and then we can actually talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Well, we can talk about what you want to talk about anyways, like Gremlins. But I want to make one comment about the Rip Tripper thing. And I know you all are probably going, oh, he's going to talk about Rip Trippers. Or what did that one guy call him, Dave? Rip Tippers?
Yeah, but that's when he was playing his own little character version of him.
Anyways, I am confused about this thing. Yeah, Pufferstein, yes, I was. Yes, I was. And hey, Rad. But Tip Rippers, thank you. There's like, I don't know if your guys' circles, but in my circles, there's been a little bit of backlash to this whole situation. Okay, because, and I don't know. I mean, tell me what you guys think, because I don't know. I'm still kind of confused because I like Rip Trippers as a reviewer. Obviously, a guy with that nice of a beard's got to be awesome. Okay, but like when you started like watching stuff, and I went back and watched the re-roll of Mod Envy and just stuff like that, and then I listened to Twisted's version of it on YouTube. I listened to Rip's version on YouTube. And the guy's got a point. I mean, Rip does, okay? There are quite a few people out there who have taken it upon themselves to become him. And this is before any of this stuff happened. I mean, this was like, 8 months ago when Rip came out and called that guy out called Rip Trippin', that was making videos on YouTube. I mean, you gotta think, guys. I mean, this guy, Rip Trippers, is 200,000 people ahead of the closest e-cig reviewer as far as subs go. I mean, he's making a lot of, not making a lot of money, because I don't think there's that much money in it unless you have like millions of reviewers, but he's still making some nice change. What is it, Dave? Is it like 2 cents?
It ranges depending on the number of viewers and the number of click-throughs you get. You can range anywhere from,
because he does have the
10 cents per ad placement.
Because he does have the good reviews. I mean, he does have the good videos, the good advertisements.
He's entertaining, and he does have a lot. He does have his ad push on it. So
okay, so here's my thing. Okay, absolutely, Rad. He is entertaining. Okay. And yes, sister, he is making money. How much? I don't know. Okay, but Rip has basically turned his name into, into a very good thing. And it is America. Absolutely, Rad. But here's my thing. People were dogging him, Rip, about his reviews always being positive. Okay, well, that's not so true, because he does say negatives about almost every single device. Number two, he has given a few bad reviews. But the one thing about Rip you got to know is Rip has said this, I don't know how many times in reviews, that he doesn't review things he doesn't like. So he's taken it upon himself, and this is years ago he started saying this, because he was getting so much shit. I mean, imagine how much stuff you see Phil Bastardo get. Imagine how much stuff Rip Trippers gets. Or, for example, look at, what's that guy that does the guy with the long hair? He's a pretty popular reviewer as well. What's his name? Morning Smokes or Good Smoker, or what the heck's his name, Dave?
Oh, Indoor Smokers?
Indoor Smokers. Thank you, Pufferstein. Indoor Smokers. Have you seen that guy open his vape mail on a Monday morning? Now, imagine being Rip Trippers and having 200,000 more subscribers than this guy. Can you imagine how much shit this guy gets? And that's what Rip said. He said this probably like about 9 to 10 months ago. I'm sorry. He's like, I'm not going to review another standard 3-post stripper. I'm not going to review another standard mechanical. You can send it to me, and if you want to send it to me, great. But I'm telling you right now, unless it's innovative, I'm not going to review it. Or unless it's just horrible, I'm not going to review it. Or if it's great, if it's something special, then I will review it. Okay, he's made that clear over many, many videos, okay? Now, whether that plays into his whole dynamic, or maybe the next day he decided he was going to start, asking for people for stuff or whatever. I don't really care. I don't really know. I'm not really into dogging the guy. I just like his videos. But, Now, see, that's the thing, Broken. It was because of the 2% of revenue is the reason the whole hubbub started. The problem is when you look back at the storyline, I mean, all you got to do is go back and watch like videos like Indoor Smokers. That guy had somebody who actually named himself Indoor Smokers with one R and was calling stores up, and they were actually sending the dude shit because of how popular he is. And he was like getting shit and actually getting so much shit that he started giving the shit away. The Indoor Smokers had to come on his channel and announce that he had somebody who was copying him. So yes, I know it's about the 2%, but what I am saying is Rip is saying that it wasn't him. It was obviously somebody trying to make some money on the side. So, I don't know. The thing that's interesting to me is why hasn't the guy from that vendor, what's the name of the vendor that called him out on it?
Wasn't it Cloud Chasers?
Yes. Was it Cloud Chasers Inc.?
It was Cloud Chasers something. I don't know if it was Cloud Chasers.
Okay,
Inc.,
maybe I'm not going to say who it was because I just don't know. Okay.
But again, I'm trying to remember. It's been a lot of bullshit.
And shot. I'm not even saying that. Okay, because I honestly don't know. All I'm saying is I think maybe people should just take a step back and just take a deep breath, because I know most of you might not be into the severity of this drama, but a lot of people have had a lot of fun with this drama. And I personally, right when I heard that, the very first thing I thought was, well, it's been about 2 months since something's blown up in the community. Here's a good, it's, to me, I honestly took it as it was time. So if somebody's like, oh, let's bring up some drama.
Yeah.
I don't know. The problem with me, though, nowadays with this drama situation in the community is typically there are alternative motives behind it when you look back through a lot of the drama in the community, and you look at either helps somebody with their subs, it helps somebody with their views, it helps somebody with their numbers, it helps somebody make money, it puts somebody's popularity out there. I remember all the drama about the Manhattan Dave, and look at now.
Oh, yeah.
Now look at them now. They got like 4 mods out now.
Really? They released more mods?
Yeah.
Huh?
So it's, I don't know. And I know most of you really well because you've been watching me for a long time. So I know, or at least I hope I know how some of you kind of feel and think about this situation. All I can say is that, man, am I glad I did not get involved in this one. Because, hey, Vape Check, it's, yeah. And the thing is that even if Rip did ask for 2% of his business, the review had already been done on the device. So
Yeah.
that's my biggest thing about this, is if he really wanted 2% of his business, why would he review the device before he asked for 2%? And that's...
And you know what's
Go ahead.
funny to me
Go
about
ahead.
this whole review issue is maybe I'm just weird, but when I watch reviews, and I do, I watch a lot of different reviewers. They have entertainment value. But what I watch a review for is one thing: a general idea of it, an up-close look, a general feel for it. I don't care if I respect your opinion greatly. I do, Keeper, but I don't care if I look at a video, I see something that looks like crap, it doesn't look entertaining, like it's going to work for me. I don't care if you, a person I greatly, greatly respect, says it's the greatest ad he ever made. I have to make my own personal opinion.
Hey, Vape Girl. Bye, Vape Girl. Sorry, Dave.
And that's the thing is, you have to, people who just blindly follow reviewers, this is what you would get. To me, a reviewer is nothing more than a person's opinion and a chance to look up close.
But you know
That's
what, Dave?
honestly why I've always been a huge fan of Bastardo. He might get his opinions and mine greatly
Hey,
different.
Shut. How you doing? And let me just take it as this, okay? Being on the other side of this, where I have sent stuff out to get reviewed, I'll tell you guys honestly. When I had, like, I'm just going to use this as an example. Like, when I had Suck My Mod review my juice, it bumped my sales, like, massively. I'm talking, like, I might have had 10 orders a day, and it bumped me up to where, like, I had, like, 80 orders, 90 orders in like one shot. So these reviewers make these people money, especially the big ones. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And all you got to do is look at a mod that like Twisted and I can't really count Rip because Rip is usually behind the ball. That's one thing I like about Rip. Is Rip will hold on to the Vice and he'll sit there and look at it and work on it, think about it, vape it for 2 weeks after everybody else has already reviewed it, and then he'll review it. And that's one of the things I like about it because he actually takes his time and looks at these devices. And I'm not saying the other guys don't. I'm just saying he's not like one of the guys who really jumps on unless he does a first look. Like I know he did a first look on the IPv3. But, you know, it just... You know, I don't know. Oh, really, Shot? That's crazy.
Yeah, I heard about
now, see, and now Shot, that's news to me because I did not hear that. What I meant when I said backlash was that I had heard that somebody had on Facebook that they had found that this was one of Rip's impersonators. It was not on my Facebook because I just said earlier I haven't been on Facebook I don't know how long because I just got tired of the drama. But a buddy of mine texted it to me. And if somebody's criminal record came out, that's not a good... And that's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm not here to talk about the drama. I could care less. I'm here to talk about the fact that I don't know why it's so important for us in this community to break people down. I mean, Rip's been doing reviews for what, like 4 years? I mean, think about how much time. I mean, I know my reviews that I've done in the past aren't anything close to Rip's quality, but those reviews take me like 2 to 3 to 4 hours to do sometimes. Just one video. And mine aren't even close to the editing or the quality of Rip, you know, Rip's quality. And Vapinator, you damn troll. I don't think it was Twisted impersonating Rip. Hey, hi guy, how's it going? I don't think it was, but who knows. So, anyways, I'm done with the subject. I just wanted some of your guys' opinions, and I wanted to talk about it because I just think whether he is guilty or isn't guilty. Number one, why is it my business? Number two, if he is doing things that way, you know, is it really that bad that the guy is saying, hey, you know, I'm going to make you $25,000. I would like to make 2% of it. To me, that's not kosher, okay? I'm telling you, if it really happened, I don't agree with it, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, is it worth ruining a guy's, like, 5-year investment? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, you just woke up this morning? Well, good morning, Vape High guy. Shot, I don't know whose criminal record came out either. But if you asked me one versus the other, I would kind of have an opinion. At least I would be leaning one way versus the other. Yeah. Hold on one second.
Oh God, Shot. But that's the thing is.
Oh God, Shot. Hold on one second, Dave. Okay, can you talk for 1 minute? My daughter just woke up. Hold on.
I was. You just interrupted me. That's the thing is, putting too much stock in reviewers, for people who do a really good job of reviewing, bare minimum, they get access to a lot of really cool stuff. They do get compensation. There's nothing wrong with that. It's normal. It's expected. You, as a consumer, just have to take everything with a grain of salt. And everyone's opinion is different. Like I was saying earlier. Bizardo, I love his reviews. I love how in-depth he is. I love the fact he uses a lot of the meters, the testers, that kind of stuff. I love the technical details. Honestly, my opinion and his on a lot of technique and a lot of structure and the way we vape are very different. but I greatly respect them. I didn't even have that for the last 2 months on Vape TV. Yeah, my backgrounds have changed greatly over the time. Exactly, Shep. And that's what you have to look at the reviews for. A close-up, a general concept of them. Like I said, I don't care what anyone thinks about something until I get my hands on it. I won't even believe it. But at the up close will give you a general concept of it.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Daughter changes the whole flow of the house. But yeah, I like I said, I don't know. I I watch these reviews. Oh my god! Oh, Broken's a racist too. He just hates the human race. Oh god! Sister almost didn't recognize you because of the barn door.
You know what she's referring to, my horrible initial backgrounds. I got better at it, and when my new show finally launches, it is even better.
By the way, speaking of new shows, when is your new show gonna launch?
I don't know, my life is so busy right now. I mean, I literally walked in the door when you messaged me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't even had a chance to unwind, do anything. I walked in the door, I sat down, was gonna grab a glass of water, was gonna check my emails, and here I am.
You know Vape Check? I have not. I'd have to look him up. Because I'll be honest, I pretty much subscribe to every reviewer, even the horrible ones. Because that's just my way of kind of supporting the community in a very little way. I just know how nice it is when you're a reviewer and you're trying to build your subscriber list and somebody subscribes to you, you know? So
Yeah.
I don't really care. Because, I mean, how hard is it for me to just scroll past the video when I'm going through my list of YouTube reviews? I mean, I just, you know. Cool, I'll have to check him out. I appreciate it, Vape Check. That's awesome.
And see, that's what you have to do, Shad. You have to watch a lot of reviews, get a view on it, and then don't expect as good as they say it is. Because everyone vapes differently. It falls down to the same category as if there was such a thing as a perfect Addy, if there was such a thing as a perfect mod, if there was such a thing as a perfect juice, there would be one company out there that sells the one juice that we all want to buy. There'll be that one company that sells that perfect Addy and one company that sells that mod. And our choices would be so easy. We walk into a store, they have this beautiful case in the middle with one of each sitting there.
Yep.
And you just walk out and life is perfect. Not gonna happen.
I will say this, Vapinator, or I'm sorry, who was the one mentioning about the goblin? Oh, it was Shot. Shot. I actually love the Goblin RDA. Now, I don't know if you're talking about the same same Goblin I'm talking about, but if you're talking about the one that has the little Pac-Man guy on it, I love this RDA. But I will say this, you do have to kind of like work with it a little bit. You got to cut the blockage off like halfway with the Dremel to make it work right. But to me, I love the Goblin RDA. You know,
yeah,
Sister,
my favorite, I have this. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just going to tell Sister. It's funny because so many people love the jellyfish, and Bizarro and several other reviewers hated it.
Well, I think he hates it for the right. He has issues with it for the right reason. The fact is, it calculates voltage by mean.
Hey, Max.
Pisses me off. The fact that it tells you how you're supposed to vape irritates me. I can understand his problem with that. But what I was going to say about the Goblin, it's funny, is I have this one customer that comes into our store.
God, keep talking, Dave. I'm sorry. 1 second.
He doesn't buy anything from our store typically. He just comes in, hangs out, and whenever he gets a new RDA, he comes in, hands it to me to build for him. And he just got a Goblin, brought it in, had me build it for him, and I'm like, wow, it's the Orchid with a little better deck. Okay, I'll build it for you. Enjoy. Hey, Max. Nice to see you too, Max. But yeah, that's the thing is that type of vaping at this point, as great as I'm sure the Goblin is, if I was to sit down and vape on it and work with it, I know, especially to all the drippers out there and to all the rebuilders out there, are gonna think this is sacrilege. Honestly, for any tank addy at this point, sub tank. It works. It tastes great. It's reasonably priced, and you don't have to worry about anything. Coils last a month. It just works. And which is nice sometimes, but when you spend hours building at work and playing at home and rebuilding all this stuff and enjoying and all this stuff, sometimes it's nice just to have a tank to get you a great vape, good power, spectacular flavor, and you just put a coil in it. And it's easy. Sometimes it's nice. Yeah, I've never really had too much of a spitting problem of mine, Matt. But it could just be the liquid or the heat I'm running mine on, because everyone interacts with devices differently. Nice, Puffin. Hope it's good. Like I said, I've heard nothing but love for it from most people, so I'm sure it's going to be enjoyable. Yes, I do, Max. I I run the biggest shop from the biggest vape company in the entire Midwest right now. Not to sound bragging, I just take a lot of pride in it. Mysteries.
Oh gosh, sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Somebody asked me about the goblin where I dremeled it. And like I said, if you have the same goblin I have, which has the little Pac-Man ghost on it, what I did is, you know how it has like this little wall? I just dremeled it in half and leveled it. So basically I just took half this off and dremeled it flat. So that way I could keep my coil, more to the side instead of getting the air from the side. Because, I mean, literally how they made this thing is pretty stupid. But even when I vaped it before I did that, I thought it vaped pretty well. But, you had to build your coils almost like sideways.
Yeah, the first build I did, I don't know how it turned out for the guy because he hasn't been back in, but it was an interesting build.
Oh, okay, you're talking about the goblin from UD. Okay, isn't that like a tank RDA?
Yes, it's basically it's very similar to the it's a general similar concept to like an orchid.
And it doesn't work.
A lot of people love them.
Oh, really? Yeah, because that's crazy. Because what's his name? The reviewer, that guy that reviews all the UD stuff. Ace Vapor or something like that. He loves it.
Well, I'm at least proud of you for not calling it the W75. I think at this point, we literally have over 20 versions of the W at this point.
Oh, I know. They do have so many.
You gotta come up with some new naming at some point. I at least give them credit they gave it a new name.
I will say this, okay, guys, and you guys know me. I'm an avid dripper all the way. The only tank I even have remotely in my rotation is the Big Dripper, and that's been pretty much taken out of rotation. But I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit on the verge of getting ready to try the Kanger Tank Mini, or what's the medium-sized one?
Oh, for the sub tanks?
The Kanger
It's the
sub
Mini.
tank.
Yep, it's the Mini.
The
It's
Mini.
the 22 millimeter.
Now, my question is, can you still build the standard
Yes.
build on the Mini?
Yes.
So basically, you can do, you can do both. You can do the Mini and you can do the standard.
Yeah, it comes. All the kits will come with ICB.
Hey, CB.
All the sub tank full size and the sub tank mini come with a 1.2, a 0.5, and a build deck. The sub tank nano just comes with the 2 coils. The sub tank mini actually has the best build deck of the first 2.
Wait, the Mini has what? I'm sorry, Dave.
The better build deck between the 2, the full size and the mini. The
What would
mini is actually the best version of it.
What would it? How much of those? Well, I was gonna ask you how much those run at your shop. Maybe get your hands on one for me, but
It won't be a problem. They go for around $35.
35.
Yeah. Hi, Ego.
Hey, Ego, what's up? Yeah, I don't know. I've watched a lot of reviews on it, and I'm almost to that point where I'm like so sick of doing this all day long. Okay,
Yep.
like it's getting to the point where I'm starting to get like tired of dripping constantly.
Yeah, I understand that.
And don't get me wrong, I'll never leave dripping just because it to me is just like
Right.
it's so perfect. But I just get tired of like when I go to my mother-in-law's house, I'd rather just take a tank and a mod and
Yep.
be happy. I don't want to take 2 mods and 2 bottles of juice, because I gotta take the second mod just in case my batteries die. It just starts to really frustrate me. Excuse me.
Oh, I understand completely. The funny thing is even when I'm at work, I'll have 3 different drippers sitting next to me, and I always have my sub tank with me because it's what I use to go back and forth to work.
Yeah.
They'll always end up on the desk next to me. And the weird thing is, even with all these drippers there, I'll still grab my sub tank.
did Puffinstein mean to say? Did he mean to say slut pump, or did he mean to
Yes,
say
it's
sub tank?
it's basically a bottle. It's
Oh.
a big thing in the community now.
It's a what? A big what?
It's a big thing in the community. It's a juice bottle, basically.
The juice bottles I've been wanting to order. Welcome back, Max. The juice bottles I've been wanting to order is those damn pencil bottles.
Oh yeah.
I've been really interested in getting those, just because it'd be really easy just to slide in your pocket. I don't know why, because I don't put anything. The funny thing is, like everybody always talks about, oh, it's so easy just to put in your pocket. I don't put any. I don't think I've ever put a device in my pocket except for an Ego. Because I just
Yeah, I
don't.
don't keep anything in my pocket.
I just carry. I walk around everywhere like this, like doo doo doo, like I just got my mod in my hand. I don't know. I don't know why. I guess maybe I should use my pocket, but I always just. I pretty much don't want to get juice all over me, and every single time, it's gonna get juice. I'm gonna get juice everywhere. Oh, okay, Puffinstein. There, he put a link in. Let's see.
And Max makes a perfect point. You don't need a pocket when you have a pot holder.
Very true. Come on. Nice. Those are actually pretty dang awesome. Those are pretty freaking cool. And I guess that would be a good bottle of juice to have in your pocket because you do not have to worry about it leaking. And it is a pretty awesome name for a bottle. Yeah, Puffinstein, you're right. I need a holster. Maybe I can convert one of my gun holsters to like a mod holster.
Yeah, but how are you going to find a holster that'll hold a Shenandoah? I don't think there's one out there.
That's very true. Yeah, I don't think there is either.
No.
Yeah,
I still get so many looks and so many questions about that mod every day.
It looks like a. I wasn't gonna say a penis pump. I was gonna say it does kind of look like a penis pump, but it looks more like I'm getting ready to put gel in my hair or like squirt some lotion on my hands. Yeah, I know, Max. I'm
There's
an
some
idiot.
really horrible, dirty jokes in there somewhere.
I'm an idiot.
I'm not gonna go
Coin the
looking for 'em.
term the mod holster. Yeah, I know.
Actually, I think a company is already making them.
Yeah, it's just like they were, Basardo, and I watched like 2 minutes of Basardo's Ice Stick 30 review, and then I got bored. And then I started watching the Vaping Greek. I guess they went to some meet that guy from Deadliest Catch that owns the brick and mortars.
Yeah.
He's like related to somebody who's making those vape mats. And I was looking at how big that mat is, and I was like, dude, like, where is that thing gonna go? Like, there's literally juice all over here, and like crap, I have no room for that shit.
I think Ego Mama called you out pretty harshly in chat.
What'd you say?
Not gonna answer back?
Guess it's not true. Nice, Ego.
Well, right after she says, you seem to know quite a bit about penis pump.
The only problem is, that's why I said, I guess it could be like a penis pump, but it doesn't have the pump, like the little actuator, Don't they have like a perfume bottle actuator? Or am I thinking about the wrong one? Or wait, that's the different kind of pump.
Yeah, I actually found a juice company at one of the brick and mortars in my town that use those kind of like top squirt type pumps and the most style. No.
Sister, I was actually talking about the female anatomy pump.
Why did you call it a penis pump?
I didn't call it a penis pump. The female anatomy
I'm
pump
pretty
isn't.
sure that's what I heard.
No, isn't the female anatomy one that has like the little perfume squeezy thingy? Like some perfume bottles have, where you squeeze it. It's got that little
I'll
float.
leave this conversation to you.
It's got that little float on the end, and you squeeze it. Psh, psh. I know I did say penis pump. I had a good day. I said it repeatedly.
Pretty much you can pump any part of your body. There's a special pump just for it.
Oh boy, how did we get on this subject? How much time do we have? Oh god, thank god we only have 10 minutes. I can sit here and look red for 10 more minutes, then I can get off and bear my shame. What's up, Dyer?
No, you just want to get off camera so you can play with all your pumps.
Yeah, Dyer missed it. Dyer missed it. Maybe you would need one, Ego. Maybe, just maybe, one day you would rather. No, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just gonna shut up right now, because I'm just waiting for the Pandora has entered.
Oh. See, that's very similar to what I've always done, Max. Just because I'm one of those people who have to mess with people's minds. Every time I ever went to a department store or grocery store kind of place to buy condoms, I've always, and this is just because I have to get the reaction, I have to go buy at least 1 or 2 bananas at the same time. Not because I want the look from them.
You know what's funny? Actually, one time I did that on accident. I went and bought condoms. This is a long time ago. I went and bought condoms, and I bought like 2 extremely large zucchini at the same time. Because that's what my wife wanted me to buy at the store, was 2 zucchini for the salad. And I didn't even realize that I was buying them in relation to each other. And let's just say the 19-year-old pimple-faced teenager at the moment was looking at me very awkwardly. Very, very awkwardly. Pufferstein, I should hope not. I don't know. I don't know why you would.
Hey, whatever you enjoy in life, in your personal life.
If I was gonna do anything with that part of my anatomy, it would literally be like, I would do like that one dude that like pulled a big old tank with his penis.
That sounds more unpleasant than pumping for some reason. I don't know. That sounds a little bit more unpleasant.
Okay, hold on, guys. 1 sec. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
Yeah, you never ever know what these shows are going to turn into. He starts off all serious and let's talk about this issue and this person doing this and talk
Oh,
about advocacy. And you know, within at least an hour, hour and a half, it's going to get at least to some kind of penis related
hey,
concept
hey,
or
for those
something.
those people that missed the first hour and a half of the show, we talked about advocacy, we talked about rip trippers, we talked about Shan mods, we talked about uh, vaping in general, we talked about mods, we talked about addies, we talked about junk, and now it's just the last 10 minutes left. Now it's fun time. Now it's time to talk about penises and vaginas.
Of course, that's the real fun time, actually. Hey, Donna.
You gotta talk about that when right before Ego comes on. That's like the best part. You gotta talk
Get
about
the
the
crowd worked up and all those dirty
yeah.
talks
You gotta
going
talk about
so
the
that they can go
chairlift.
right after her with them.
You gotta talk about the chairlift. You know, it's just not the same when I do it versus when Ego does it. It just because Max, I'm not into that part of the anatomy. Go over there. I have 5 more minutes.
There's nothing wrong with talking about the taint.
Oh, dude, I that's just one area that is just, dude, it's used for one purpose and one purpose all in my life, and that.
No, the taint is not the same as your ass. And honestly, what's really weird about this conversation is somehow on my Facebook feed the other day came up a video discussing how prevalent and how into the mainstream rimming has become.
Wait. What?
Yeah. Up on one of them, I don't know who or how, but it came up my Facebook feed how
Dude,
strongly prevalent in the modern society that has become.
oh my god, I was reading something better than that. I'm not gonna say that word out loud. Yes, that's what he
The
said.
truth
Shot.
about the taint is,
That's what he said.
you know why
Shot.
they call
Yeah.
it a taint, right?
No, I don't. I
Because
told
it
you.
taint your ass and it taint your balls.
I was, however, reading a really nice New York Times article about the return of hair. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
The 70s and
been,
80s aren't dead, dude.
been
Did
for
you
the
know that?
last like 2 or 3 years.
Did you know that the 70s and 80s aren't dead? I think that's so awesome. Now watch Nerva, like watch right now, like in any second, I'm waiting for Nerva to like wake up from the bed. I heard something about female anatomy. Oh god. Uh-oh.
Spam alert.
Oh no.
Good spam. Good spam alert.
Oh no. So I guess did it pass? Ego, did it pass? Or is it still, or are you still wanting us to call to oppose it? Because it says bans the sale of flavor. Oh, okay, so never mind. I misread it. I thought you may posted
They're
that.
trying to keep it from getting
Yeah,
passed.
yeah. It's awesome, Max. Dude, I always thought I was born like one decade too early. Or one decade too late. I'm the man who stands alone in favor of the hair. At least among my
You're
friends.
flying on the face. Manscaping is a positive invention that we came up with.
Manscaping is not a positive invention. Neither is womanscaping. Except shaving the legs is awesome.
If you got one, you got to have the other.
That's true, and you know what? If that's the way it was, that would be the way it was. Except on my head where it belongs, sister. That's the only problem. That's the problem. It's receding on the top. I have hair everywhere else except for where it needs to be really growing. Well, and on my face.
Well, I mean, if you're that anti-manscaping, give it a couple years and you can do a really long comb over.
Max, I'm really like a yay for that, but I could also be a nay for that. Like I literally, like if a chick was all pro, like not doing that, I wouldn't really care. As long as she used deodorant, I'd be happy. Why is it that the last 10 minutes has passed like so fast?
Because you want to get out of here as fast as possible. You're scared of the
CB, I'm the same way. To me, it does not bother me because it's natural. It's a natural part of the body, and it happens.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, I'll be honest, if I was a chick, I'm telling you right now, I would probably be ostracized as probably a gorilla, because I pretty much would leave those two areas to let it grow. Do what?
I just said, have a good night to Pup, and he's bouncing out.
Oh, see you later, brother.
And now, let's end this show on a perfect subject to really make the Giggle Box get better. I am under a very strong proponent of something that society is pro, but I'm anti.
Okay.
I literally begged my brother to not do this to his child. I believe circumcision is mutilation, and we need to stop it as a society.
Okay.
Now let's see that go into the conversation.
Now, see, I am one of these I'm one of these respectful people that I will say I respect your opinion. I just humbly disagree. But CB is right. Many people do believe that. But I agree with Max. No time for that. Again, my humble opinion. Because I had a friend who got made fun of all through high school. His nickname was Wormy for that exact reason, and it was torture.
Oh, God.
It was torture.
So just because it's a society norm means it's okay to cut
like I said, I completely agree with your right to do with as you wish. I just don't think I would ever put my child through that disgrace. Starting in junior high.
You'd rather have the trauma of getting their body sliced off.
Dude, you realize literally out of both my boys that have had that done, like literally, like that lasts for like not even, dude, I swear I don't even think they cried longer than a minute. Like, and
yeah, I've watched the documentaries. They cry and then they actually go into shock.
Oh, God. Neither of my kids went into shock, I will say this.
Yes, they did. When they stopped crying, that's them actually going into shock.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Well, all I know is that they were good, and I think that in like maybe 10 years they'll both be giving me high fives, thanking me that I took care of the business.
I don't know if that's a conversation I'd want to have with my dad. I don't know.
No, I don't think so either.
Dad, thanks for having my dick cut.
Yeah, sister, I think Dave does watch too much YouTube. Dyer. Oh my God. I want a foreskin replacement. Well, guys, it's 7 o'clock.
Actually, it's out there.
It is 7 o'clock, and it's time for Ego and Pandora. All I can say is Ego and Pandora. Ego and Pandora, we have left the show on an all-time high, happy note for you. And we will both be watching the first 5 minutes of your show to see how you continue this great...
What both of your opinions are on this subject.
On this great foundation that we have left your show, or left the show on. So, all right, guys, thank you so much, and Dave, thank you for watching, or thanks for coming on, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Okay. You guys have a great night.
Let me just make sure that they're. Let me just make sure they're ready to go before I say goodbye.
No. Ego Mom was learned. It's just mute us. Much easier to mute us.
Oops, sorry about that. I didn't mean to put Skype up on the screen. I keep forgetting Dave's on screen one. So thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate it. You guys have a fantastic night. Thanks again, Dave, for joining me. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And we will see you guys next week. Everybody has to give Nerva as much crap as they can when they see him on Skype the next time he talks. Because me and Dave both think he's sleeping. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Take care, everyone.